Hey all, Veronica here, and today I wanted to share with you a really awesome nutrition management guide that's from 1950. This is printed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So this is actually a government issued food management and recipes pamphlet from the 1950s. And I wanted to share this with you because I wanted to see, is this nutrition information still relevant today? So grab a cup of coffee. I have my morning beverage here, and let's dive into this pamphlet to see what kind of nutrition information that the USDA was recommending in 1950. This was about 75 years ago, so it's going to be interesting to see if this is still relevant today. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Veronica. I love sharing healthy family meal prep tips and tricks. So make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more nutrition information and healthy living tips and tricks. Okay, so this is called Family Fare Food Management and Recipes. And actually this is stamped from the office of Pat McCarran for U.S. Senate. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with Pat McCarran, but he was clearly a U.S. Senator in 1950. So this is from the Home and Garden Bulletin number 1 from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now we know it as the USDA. And look how cool this pamphlet is. I'm always so amazed how pamphlets like this last for so many decades. This was, like I said, printed in 1950. So that means it's 75 years old. So this was prepared by the Bureau of Human Nutrition and Home Economics, Agricultural Research Administration, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, February 1950. And this was for sale by the Superintendent of Documents, and it was priced at 25 cents. Okay, so in this pamphlet, I'm going to just kind of read to you from the pamphlet because I really love how they worded things back then. This was actually created for homemakers. So if you're a homemaker, definitely this might be a fun document for you to listen to. You can watch as I read, or you can also just put this on and do maybe some of your chores while listening to this video. That's usually what I like to do with YouTube videos, is I put them on in the background while I'm doing my dishes or cleaning or meal prepping. Okay, so the first page here says, you and your family's food. Are you one of this country's 33 million homemakers and trying to do a blue ribbon job of feeding a family well? If so, you know that your task is vital to family health and important to happiness, and it isn't easy. You have a 4-point food program. To serve enjoyable meals, to keep your family well nourished, to practice thrift when need be, to save time and energy where you can. This booklet offers suggestions and other helps that take these combined problems into account. The nutrition section aims to bring the homemaker up to date quickly and to show the importance of food for health. The food planning section shows you an orderly way to provide meals that contain the vitamins and other nutrients in the quantities which different individuals need. The cooking principles are modern, designed to conserve the nourishment as well as the appetite appeal in the food. The recipes offer a selection of standbys and special dishes. Time-saving shortcuts are given and suggestions for fitting many of the recipes into lunch, dinner, or supper. In the sections on food buying, storing, and measuring, there are pointers on thrift. So one thing I like about this document here is this is not prepared by a food company, which means they're not trying to sell you any specific food products. So actually a lot of the nutrition and information in here is based on nutrition given by the USDA. So I really like that because this is actually pretty solid information. Okay, nutrition, up to date, up to you. Nutrition is the science that deals with food at work, food on the job for you. Modern knowledge of food at work brings a new kind of mastery over life. And when you and your family eat the right food It does far more than just keep you alive and going. The right food helps you to be at your best in health and vitality. It can even help you to stay younger, longer, postponing old age. An individual well fed from babyhood has a more likely chance to enjoy a long prime of life. But at any age, you are better off when you are better fed. Food's three big jobs. Food provides materials for the body's building and repair. Protein and minerals and water are what tissue and bone are chiefly made of. Children must have these food materials to grow on, and all lifelong the body continues to require supplies for upkeeping. Food provides regulators that enable the body to use other materials and to run smoothly. Vitamins do important work in this line, and minerals and protein too. Food provides fuel for the body's energy and warmth. There is some fuel in every food. Body's needs A to Z. From vitamin A to the mineral zinc, a list of nutrients, chemical substances that the body is known to require from food, would total more than 40, and there may be some not yet detected. You can put nutrition knowledge to use without being introduced to all of the body's A to Z needs. When daily meals provide sufficiently for the following key nutrients, you can be reasonably sure of getting the rest. Protein. Protein was named from the Greek word meaning first. Nearly 100 years ago, it was recognized as the main substance in all of the body's muscles and organs, skin, hair, and other tissues. No simple substance could build and renew such different tissues, and the protein has proved to be complex and varied. Protein in different foods is made up of varying combinations of 22 simpler materials called amino acids. If need be, the body can make its own supply of more than half of these amino acids, but the remaining amino acids must come ready-made from food. And to get the best use from these special ones, the body needs them all together, either in one food or in some combination of foods. The best quality proteins have all of these especially important amino acids and worthwhile amounts of each. To get top rating proteins in food from animal sources, as in meat, poultry, eggs, fish, milk, and cheese. Some of these protein foods are needed each day, and it is an advantage to include some in each meal. Next best for proteins are soybeans and nuts and dry beans and peas. When these are featured in main dishes, try to combine them with a little top rating protein food if you can. The rest of the protein required will then come from cereals, breads, vegetables, and fruits. Many American-style dishes such as meat and vegetable stew, egg sandwiches, macaroni and cheese, cereal and milk are highly nourishing combinations. For in the body's remarkable chemistry, the high-grade proteins team with the less complete proteins in many companion foods and make the latter more useful than if eaten alone. Calcium. Calcium was one of the chief mineral materials in bones and teeth. About 99% of all of the calcium in the body is used for framework. Small but important, the other 1% remains in body fluids such as the blood. Without this calcium, muscles can't contract and relax, and nerves can't carry their messages. For calcium to be used properly, other substances are needed too in the right quantities. Vitamin D and phosphorus, for example. Many people go through life with bones that are calcium poor. If a child gets too little calcium in his food, or if his bones fail to deposit the calcium properly, then the bones will be smaller than they should be, or malformed as when legs are bent in rickets. Older people who are calcium poor may have brittle bones that break easily and mend slowly. Whether you are young or old, it is a good thing for diet to be calcium rich. The outstanding food for calcium is milk. You can hardly get enough calcium without using a good deal of milk in some form. The next best foods for calcium are some of the leafy green vegetables, notably turnip tops, mustard greens, and kale. Iron. One of the essential minerals for red blood cells is iron. Without its iron supply, the blood could not carry oxygen from the lungs to each body cell. When meals are varied, you get some iron from many different foods. Liver is outstanding for iron. And one good reason for eating leafy vegetables is their iron content. Some of the other foods that add iron are egg yolks, meat in general, peas and beans of all kinds, dried fruits, molasses, bread, and other cereal foods made from the whole grain or enriched. I recently shared a video of a bunch of iron-rich foods from the grocery store, so check out that video if you're interested in more iron-rich foods. All right, continuing on. Iodine. Your body must have small but steady amounts of iodine to help the thyroid gland to work properly. The most familiar bad effect of getting too little iodine is a swelling of the gland called goiter. Along the seacoast and in some other parts of the United States, iodine is contained in the drinking water and vegetables and fruits grown in local soil. But too little iodine in water and soil is the cause of a wide goiter belt across the country, particularly around the Great Lakes and in northwestern states. It is well to plan for iodine, particularly if you live inland. Eating saltwater fish and other food from the sea at least once a week will help. But the best line of defense is to use iodized table salt regularly. In this kind of table salt, the iodine lost from natural salt in refining is restored. One point of warning must be added. Using iodized salt regularly can prevent simple goiter, but it may be harmful to a goiter far advanced. If in doubt about its use, see a competent physician. And one side note is I do supplement with iodine drops, and I buy those on Amazon, and you can find a link in the description below to the iodine droplets that I use on a regular basis. All right, vitamins in general. Nearly 20 vitamins that are known or believed to be important to human well-being have thus far been discovered. A few more vitamins are known to be important to such creatures as fish, chickens, or insects, but not to people. When you eat a variety of food, you are pretty sure of getting a well-rounded assortment of the vitamins you need, except perhaps vitamin D. And you may also be getting other vitamins still undetected in food, but serving you just the same. Separate doses of one or more selected vitamins are best taken under doctor's orders. For research in showing more and more instances in which a vitamin or other nutrient seeks a different nutrient in a meal as a special partner to assist in its work. When a vitamin pill brings in a mass army, the right partners may not be ready to use so much specialized help. The following vitamins are of practical importance in planning family meals. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is important to the young for growth, and at all ages it is important for normal vision, especially in dim light. In one way or another, many vitamins help protect the body against infection, and vitamin A's guard duty is to help keep the skin and the linings of the nose, mouth, and inner organs in good condition. If these surfaces are weakened, bacteria can invade more easily. You can get vitamin A from some animal foods. Good sources are liver, egg yolks, butter, whole milk and cream, and cheese made from whole milk or cream. Fish liver oils, which children take for vitamin D, are rich in vitamin A besides. From many vegetable foods, you can get carotenes, which are yellow-orange substances that the body converts into vitamin A. Green, yellow, and some red vegetables are good sources of carotene. One good reason for including a vegetable from the leafy greens and yellow group every day is to keep stocked with this vitamin. Margarine, a vegetable fat, is nearly always fortified with vitamin A or carotene. Some vitamin A can be stored in the body, so it is to your advantage to eat heartily of foods that provide for it, such as the green and yellow vegetables. A savings account of vitamin A in your system may be drawn upon if in any emergency this vitamin is wanting in the diet. The B vitamin family. There was once supposed to be just one vitamin B. Then vitamin B was found to be complex, and it has in time been separated into about a dozen vitamins, each with particular duties and importance. Most of them are now called by names that tell something about their chemical nature. Thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin are the most generally known and best understood Bs. Getting enough of these in food helps with steady nerves, normal appetite, good digestion, good morale, and healthy skin. When these bees are seriously wanting in diet, malnutrition ills such as bearberry and pellagra follow. But far more common in this country are borderline cases: the chronic grouch, the lazy bones, the nervous man, the housewife with vague complaints, may be showing effects of food providing too little of these important Bs. Recently, identified Bs are folic acid and vitamin B12. Both are important for healthy state of the blood. Folic acid and B12 are being used medically with success in treating two hard-to-cure diseases, pernicious anemia and sprue. Few foods contain real wealth of B vitamins, but a varied diet, many foods contribute some or so build an adequate supply. One way to make sure of raising your B level is to use regularly bread and flour that have been made from whole grain or that have been enriched so as to restore important B vitamins. Getting ample milk in the diet is important for Bs too, and for riboflavin in particular. B vitamins play a part in converting fuel in foods into energy. It follows that anyone who eats large quantities of starches and sugars also requires more food containing B vitamins. And as a side note, I did publish recently a video sharing a whole bunch of foods that are rich in B vitamins. And I also do take a B12 supplement, which I share a link in the description below that you can get on Amazon as well. All right, vitamin C. The first vitamin separated out from food was vitamin C, now also called ascorbic acid. Tissues throughout the body can't keep in good condition without vitamin C. When diet is very low in this vitamin, gums are tender and bleed easily. Joints swell and hurt, and muscles weaken. In advanced stages, the disease called scurvy results. This misery used to attack sailors on long voyages when they got no fresh food. In time, they found they could fight scurvy with lemon, lime, or orange juice added to rations. Much later, vitamin C, the scurvy fighter itself, was discovered. Scurvy is rare now in this country, but many people get too little vitamin C for their best state of health. You need some food rich in vitamin C daily because the body can't store much of this vitamin. All of the familiar citrus fruits are bountiful sources of vitamin C. Half a glass, 4 ounces, of orange or grapefruit juice, fresh or canned, goes far towards meeting a day's needs. The same is true for half a grapefruit, a whole orange, or a couple of tangerines. Other good sources of vitamin C include tomatoes and tomato juice, canned or fresh strawberries and cantaloupe, also raw green food such as cabbage, green pepper, and green lettuce. The potato's many values include some vitamin C. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is especially important to the young because it works with minerals to form straight, strong bones and sound teeth. Babies with bow legs may have had too little vitamin D, and individuals should get some of this vitamin regularly, at least through the growing stage. It is also important for pregnant and nursing mothers. Sunshine vitamin is vitamin D's nickname because the sun rays striking the skin have power to change certain substances in the skin into vitamin D. From baby days on, children can make good use of sunshine, but they should be protected well against sunburn or sunstroke. Children can't get much vitamin D from the sun when they must wear thick, warm clothes for cold weather, or when sunlight is cut off by clouds, smoke, fog, dust, or ordinary window glass. A few foods such as egg yolk, butter, salmon, tuna, and sardines help out with vitamin D, and some milk, both fresh and evaporated, has vitamin D added. But to supplement sunshine in food, babies and young children usually need to take a special vitamin D preparation or one of the fish liver oils regularly. These oils from halibut, shark, and cod are the richest natural sources of vitamin D known. And I do take a vitamin D supplement, and I share a link in the description below to that one that I purchased on Amazon as well. Okay, this is the last bit of this book, and then I'm going to end this video, and then I'll separate into another video, more reading from this book, including about meal planning and a food plan that's actually included in this book. So definitely check out the follow-up video to this one, but let's finish this chapter. Fuel. For the body's energy in work and play, fuel must come from food. The value of foods for this purpose is figured in calories. Main sources are starches and sugars and fats, but all foods furnish calories, some many, some few, in a given size proportion. Your needs for food as fuel depend mainly on two things: the size of your body and how active you are. An average-sized man who is a desk worker with no strenuous sport or hobby needs about 2,400 calories from daily food. A fast-growing, lively teenager, boy or girl, may need more calories than this grown man. If the body weight stays about right for your height and build, it's a sign that fuel intake from food matches your needs. The calories are taking care of themselves. But suppose you are overweight, what then? When the body gets more energy food than it can use, it stores up the excess as fat. Accumulation of too much fat is sometimes termed the most frequent malnutrition problem among adults in this country. To put it more plainly, many adults eat too much. Up to 35 years of age, if you can't be just right in weight, it is better to be plump than skinny. Beyond 35, excess fat becomes a greater health liability than thinness. Ills such as high blood pressure and heart and kidney ailments are more common among overweights. Underweights tend to tire readily and may be an easy prey to infection. Controlling weight. If you are under 20 years of age, don't try to reduce except under a physician's guidance. This is also advisable if you are a young mother or have anything wrong with heart or other organs. If you are not in these groups and need to reduce, take it slowly. A pound or two off a week is plenty. To reduce calories without starving your body, it is of other needs. Eat 3 meals a day, but don't be tempted by between meal snacks. Avoid high-calorie foods like fat on meat, cooking fat, salad oils, fried foods, gravies, and rich sauces, nuts and pastries, cakes, cookies, rich desserts, candies, jellies, and jams. Eat small-sized servings of bread or cereal. Don't skimp on fruits and vegetables. Eat a variety. Yes, potatoes too. A medium-sized potato has no more calories than a big orange or a big apple. But take fruits and vegetables straight. Vegetables without cream sauce or fat, fruit without sugar and cream. Don't skimp on protein-rich foods, for you need plenty of lean meat, milk, and eggs. If you are underweight, you need to turn the tables to put some fat on your bones. You need 3 balanced meals as overweights do. So to these meals, you can freely add the extras shunned by the weight reducers, such as rich gravies and desserts, salad dressings, and jams. And you can well take some extra food as between meal snacks. Now, I do want to just clarify, this was before a lot of the processed foods that we find at the grocery store, so they're really referring to like more whole food ingredients. All right, well, thanks for joining me in this nutrition tutorial from 1950, Family Fare, Food Management and Recipes, and check out the next video in this series where I share about meal planning and having food ready to go for feeding your family. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.